Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajagacharya Astotra Satyasi Simad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Brindi Ki Jai Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindi Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Syama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai Yamuna Devi Ki Jai Ganga Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrindi Ki Jai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Summum Bonum, Chapter 9, Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna, text number 4. Is that correct? Is it text number 4? Yes, no? Did he do more than one verse yesterday? He only did one verse yesterday, right? Yeah, so it's text number 4. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tam Stanya Kama Asadya Mathnantim Jananim Hari Grihitva Dadhi Manthanam Nyashedhat Pritim Avahan Tam Stanya Kama Asadya Tam Stanya Kama Asadya Tam Stanya Kama Asadya Mathnanting Jananim Hari. Mathnanting Jananim Hari. Mathnanting Jananing Hari. Grihitva Dadi Manthnanam. Grahitva Dadi Mathnanam. Grahitva Dadi Mathnanam. Nyashedhat Pritam Avahan. Nyashedhat Pritam Avahan. Nyashedhat Pritam Avahan. Please chant, Prabhus. Ladies, anyone else? Tam unto Mother Yashoda, Stanyakama, Krishna, who was desiring to drink her breast milk, Asadya, appearing before her, Mathnantim, while she was churning butter, Jananim, to the mother, Hari, Krishna, Grahitva, catching, Dadi Mathnanam, the churning rod, Nyashedhat, forbade, Pritim Avahan, creating a situation of love and affection. Please repeat. While Mother Yashoda was churning butter, Lord Krishna, desiring to drink the milk of her breast, appeared before her, and in order to increase her transcendental pleasure, he caught hold of the churning rod and began to prevent her from churning. Purport by our founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Krishna was sleeping within the room, and as soon as he got up, he became hungry and went to his mother. Wanting to stop her from churning and drink the milk of her breast, he stopped her from moving the churning rod. So, I'd like to read to you, there are two verses, one in the first canto and one in the second canto, relating to this Damodar Leela. So I'd like to do those two verses and purports, if that's okay. So the first is from the prayers of Queen Kunti. She also has some thoughts on this Damodar Leela. Gopya dade twayi kritaga sidamatavad yate dashastru kalilanjana sambramaksham vaktrang niniya bhaya bhavanaya stitasya samang vimohayati bir apiyad vibeti. So these prayers of Queen Kunti is after the battle of Kurukshetra. Krishna is about to depart from Hastinapur and return to his city Dwarka. As Krishna is getting on the chariot, Kunti Devi stops him and offers a stream of beautiful prayers, and subsequently Krishna does not return to Dwarka immediately. So this is one of those prayers. Kunti Devi said, "My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes. And you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me." Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here is another explanation of the bewilderment created by the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is the supreme in all circumstances, as already explained. Here is a specific example of the Lord's being the supreme and at the same time a plaything in the presence of his pure devotee. The Lord's pure devotee renders service unto the Lord out of unalloyed love only, and while discharging such devotional service, the pure devotee forgets the position of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord also accepts the loving service of his devotees more relishably when the service is rendered spontaneously out of pure affection, without anything of reverential admiration. Generally, the Lord is worshipped by devotees in a reverential attitude, but the Lord is meticulously pleased when the devotee, out of pure affection and love, considers the Lord to be less important than himself. The Lord's pastimes in the original abode of Goloka Vrindavan are exchanged in that spirit. The friends of Krishna consider him one of them. They do not consider Krishna to be of reverential importance. The parents of the Lord, who are all pure devotees, consider Krishna a child only. The Lord accepts the chastisements of the parents more cheerfully than the prayers of the Vedic hymns. Similarly, Krishna accepts the reproaches of his fiancés more palatably than the Vedic hymns. When Lord Krishna was present in this material world to manifest his eternal pastimes of the transcendental realm of Goloka Vrindavan as an attraction for the people in general, Krishna displayed a unique picture of subordination before his foster mother, Yashoda. The Lord, in his naturally childish, playful activities, used to spoil the stocked butter of Mother Yashoda by breaking the pots and distributing the contents to his friends and playmates, including the celebrated monkeys of Vrindavan, who took advantage of the Lord's munificence. Mother Yashoda saw this and out of her pure love wanted to make a show of punishment for her transcendental child. Yashoda took up a rope and threatened Krishna that she would tie him up, as is generally done in the ordinary household. Seeing the rope in the hands of Mother Yashoda, the Lord bowed down his head and began to weep just like a child, and tears rolled down his cheeks, washing off the black ointment smeared about his beautiful eyes. This picture of the Lord is adored by Kunti Devi because she is conscious of the Lord's supreme position. Krishna is feared often by fear personified, yet he is afraid of his mother, who wanted to punish Krishna just in an ordinary manner. Kunti was conscious of the exalted position of Krishna, whereas Yashoda was not. Therefore, Yashoda's position was more exalted than Kunti's. Mother Yashoda got the Lord as her child, and Krishna made Yashoda forget altogether that her child was the Lord himself. If Mother Yashoda had been conscious of the exalted position of the Lord, she would certainly have hesitated to punish the Lord. But Yashoda was made to forget this situation because Krishna wanted to make a complete gesture of childishness before the affectionate Yashoda. This exchange of love between mother and son was performed in a natural way, and Kunti, remembering the scene, was bewildered, and she could do nothing but praise the transcendental filial love. Filial means relating to an offspring. Indirectly, Mother Yashoda is praised for her unique position of love, for she could control even the all-powerful Lord as her beloved child. So the second verse from the second canto, Narada Muni questions Lord Brahma about his position. And Lord Brahma then begins to explain that although most people in the material world consider him supreme, Brahma admits to his son Narada, no, I am not the supreme. And then begins to explain, as the chapter is entitled, Scheduled Incarnations of the Lord. So Brahma gives a very quick synopsis of so many avatars, and then when he comes to Krishna, he spends several verses quickly going through key pastimes. So of course, even he mentions something about this Yashoda, Damodar, and also the previous chapter that we studied. Grahinita yad upabandam amushyamata shulbang sutasya natutattad amushyamati yaj batosya vadane bhuvanani gopi swang vikshat shankita mana pratibodhitasit. When the cowherder woman, Krishna's foster mother Yashoda, was trying to tie the hands of her son with ropes, Yashoda found the rope to be always insufficient in length. And when Yashoda finally gave up, Lord Krishna by and by opened his mouth, wherein the mother found all the universes situated. Seeing this, she was doubtful in her mind, But Yashoda was convinced in a different manner of the mystic nature of her son. Purport, of course, by our founder Acharya. One day, Lord Krishna, as the naughty child, disturbed his mother Yashoda, and she began to tie up the child with ropes just to punish Krishna. But no matter how much rope she used, Yashoda found it always insufficient. Thus Yashoda became fatigued. But in the meantime, the Lord opened his mouth, and the affectionate mother saw within the mouth of her son all the universes situated together. The mother was astonished, but out of her deep affection for Krishna, she thought that the Almighty Godhead Narayan had kindly looked after her son just to protect him from all the continuous calamities happening to him. Because of Yashoda's deep affection for Krishna, she could never think her very son was Narayan, the personality of Godhead himself. And that is the action of Yogamaya, the internal potency of the Supreme Lord, which acts to perfect all the pastimes of the Lord with his different types of devotees who could play such wonders, who could play such wonders without being God. Trinadapi sunichena, tororiva sahishnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari, hare nama, hare nama eva kevalam, kalo nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyata. So in today's verse, there's this nice word, Hari. Hari, of course, refers to Krishna. Many people don't like this word Hari because they think, God is going to take away everything from me. I don't like that. I like my apartment. I like my car. I like my equipment. I like my material life. If I chant Hare Krishna, if I surrender to Krishna, he might take everything away. Therefore, sometimes you see, I'm seeing it. I go to some temples. They're in front of the deity, but during the kirtan, they won't utter that name. Why? Because they think, if I chant Hare Krishna, everything's going to be gone. This is very sad. This means that person is actually cursed. If you cannot chant the holy name of God, you are a cursed soul. We recall that in the Antilila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Maya herself takes initiation from Haridas Thakur, 3 nights she comes exposing and showing different postures. And it is said that it would even bewilder Lord Brahma, these postures. But Haridas Thakur was chanting throughout the day, night. After 3 days, she bowed down to Haridas Thakur. And she said, I am the illusory potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I have defeated everyone except you, Haridas. She then said, from my husband, Lord Shiva, I received the holy name of Ram. But now, Haridas, you give me this name, Krishna. And then she said that right now, because of Lord Chaitanya, there's a flood of love of Godhead. But then she said, anyone who is not swept up by this flood of love of Godhead will not be delivered for millions of kalpas, days of Brahma. So, if you are, sometimes people ask, Do I have God's mercy in my life? This is the test. Do you have the name of God on your tongue? If you have the name of God on your tongue, you have been blessed in this life. But no chanting, millions of kalpas. So, we, because of Srila Prabhupada, because of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have been blessed. There's another answer to that question in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. How does one know that he actually has the blessings of God? It's not that you have a big palace, or that you are famous and everybody chants your name in the sporting events or in media. They're always talking about you, or you have such a fabulous materialistic life. That does not mean you have the mercy of God. The answer given in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if one has knowledge of God, that means you are blessed. And what did Prabhupada give us? What's in Prabhupada's books? Knowledge of God. I was just listening on the way over Prabhupada's lecture he gave here in this temple, New Dwarka. That if they read one word of Srimad Bhagavatam, one shloka, one word, they are benefited. And we are reading every day, page after page. You cannot estimate your good fortune and what awaits you in the next life. We just have to dedicate this one life. That was my conclusion back in 1973, Columbus, Ohio, February. I said, all right, here I am, trying to become the next Beatles, Dylan, Hendrix. And they achieved that. I remember very, very distinctly, I remember reading how the Beatles themselves said, yes, we reached the top of the top, and then we realized there's so much more. And I was thinking, they already achieved everything that I want, and they're not happy? What's the point? Better to give this life to Prabhupada and Krishna. That was my decision. Best decision I ever made in my life. Give this life to Prabhupada and Krishna. Now, 43 years later, how much time do I got? The clock is ticking. So just hang in. Fourth quarter. It's the final 2 minutes. This is the crucial time now. The real test is coming. That final exam. And you know what amazes me? I know so many people around the world. They don't accept or believe Krishna's own statement in Bhagavad Gita. It amazes me. Krishna's statement in Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, it's right there. If you remember Krishna at the time of death, where do you go? To Krishna. And believe me, I know many people, they don't believe it. And I go, thank you, Prabhupada. And thank you that I was born stupid. Thank you that I was born not even Shudra. Malay Chayavana. Because although I'm stupid, just ask my wife, although I'm ignorant, I've got something that most people don't have. I've got the faith that Krishna is God, Prabhupada is Krishna's representative, and I have faith in Prabhupada's books. And that's worth more than billions of dollars. Because I have said hundreds of times, whoever the richest idiot is in the world right now, What can that person take when Yamaraj comes knocking? Can he make, we have this guy now, he says, I'm really good at making deals. What, are you going to make a deal with Yamaraj? Huh? What are you going to offer him? Microchips? Bankrupt hotels? You can't bargain with Yamaraj. He's not interested in your hair. He's not interested in your whatever you got. You can't make a deal. The only thing that's going to matter at the time of death, how much do you love Krishna? And Krishna is so, I love this about Krishna. He's so merciful. You just have to remember him. Just have to remember him. And then you can go to, I don't know about you, I don't want to come back to this material world. I've had enough. I want to be with Krishna. So all I have to do, and that's why people always ask, why do you have to chant all the time, Hare Krishna, Hare? Why? Practice. Practice. These athletes, they practice hours a day with the ball. Hours doing the same stupid thing over 1,000 times every day. That's what it takes to make a lot of money in this world. Learn some Shudra art, become expert at it, practice it 1,000 times a day, and you'll get all the money. So here's our repetitions right here. Here's our practice. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So we are spiritual athletes. We're doing our reps. That's the term they use. How many reps do you do? Okay, this is our reps. Hare Krishna. Then the next word, Pritim Avahan, creating a situation of love and affection. That is God. Back in the 60s, this was the popular thing. God is love. So, the hippies used to think, oh, my sex life with my girlfriend, that is God, because God is love. That was the philosophy. That's what was preached in the hippie days. I have my girlfriend, I love her, she loves me. Not really, but they pretend. And that is God, because God is love. And I love Linda, she loves me, that's God. Mayavad philosophy, pure. This is what Prabhupada came to destroy, Mayavad philosophy. So, and there is that nice, very nice purport to one of the songs, Vaishnava songs. Yes, a song by Narottam Das Thakur, Gaura Paho. And Prabhupada gives such a nice explanation. He says, everybody is talking about love. And he said, even on the signboard, love, love. But Prabhupada said, this is all lust. Lust for intoxication, love for illicit sex. This is all lust. He said, love is Radha Krishna. That is love. Love of God. And our Lord Chaitanya, he is distributing love of God. That is Lord Chaitanya's movement. That is our movement also, to distribute love of God. So we go out and preach. This preaching is one of the unique features of this ISKCON movement. Preaching. And of course, in this temple, it has been preached millions of times. Preaching means give the book. Give out the books. That is how we will give love to others. And I definitely, first 2 books I got from Daivi Shakti Devi Dasi, those 2 books changed my whole life. Those 2 books. These books are so powerful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So it's time for Ishtagosti. Who would like to open the floor for discussion? Yes, Prabhu. Just now coming.
Thank you, Nirantara Prabhu. Nirantara Prabhu, I just wanted to ask you, because you go to a lot of temples also, you meet a lot of members. Recently, I had a member who came to the congregation office and I was sitting with him and who was speaking about the science of Krishna consciousness as propagated by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. But his take was that and I'm just trying to see how you will have approached his question, is that how do you know that your guru or Srila Prabhupada in this case has covered all the bases on which you are speaking on? Because we speak from Srila Prabhupada's books. If there is anything that Srila Prabhupada has not mentioned, then that's a gray area for me. But he's
very simple. Everything is there in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. So, Prabhupada makes it very clear. And this is accepted. It's not just Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita is Gita-upanishad. It is the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. And then Prabhupada makes that point. That first of all, there's not enough time to read all the Vedic literatures. 4 Vedas, 18 Puranas, Mahabharata, 108 Upanishads. They barely have enough time to eat, sleep, mate, and defend, and they're going to talk about, I want to read all the books. So Prabhupada says, just learn this one book. It is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. So everything is there in Bhagavad Gita. If Arjuna could hear Bhagavad Gita 45 minutes to an hour and had everything required, why are we any different? So everything is there in Bhagavad Gita. First, learn Bhagavad Gita. And we don't just read Bhagavad Gita, because we're not the Bhagavad Gita movement, unfortunately. Some people don't like when I say that. Our movement is what? Hare Krishna movement. Not the Bhagavad Gita movement. The Hare Krishna movement. So we read Bhagavad Gita. We read it every day. So nobody's going to talk to the hand. We read Bhagavad Gita every day. But our movement is the chanting of Hare Krishna. So you read Bhagavad Gita and chant Hare Krishna. What does this guy say now? Trust me. Yes. Trust me, sir. You just read Bhagavad Gita, chant Hare Krishna, and you'll be happy, like me. Okay?
That brings us to the next level of the question, which is, obviously we are following Bhagavad Gita as it is, but there are many interpretations out there of Bhagavad Gita. So if someone is read a particular version of Bhagavad Gita which has a commentary based on whoever has translated that, then they are associating their mindset with this, and all of a sudden you are telling them,
yes, they have gotten a placebo. You know what is a placebo? It doesn't have the real nectar. That's why we have to give them Bhagavad Gita as it is. We give them Prabhupada's books. Yes, you have read so many, that's okay. Now read the real Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita that's got the potency to crack the heart of the conditioned soul. Look around you. Here are all these people. Most of them were not born Hindu. They were born like me, Malacha Yavana. How come we're so mad after Krishna and Bhagavad Gita? Prabhupada did not do some dirt passion sprinkle on us. Prabhupada was not cheap guru. And Prabhupada even said that. What is my miracle? Right? Because sometimes they want the guru to do miracles. Prabhupada said, here are my miracles. My disciples. Yes. Prabhupada ki jai. You just stick to Prabhupada's books and the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We got everything. Prabhupada did not cheat us. What did I say in my last class? Prabhupada left India just with the first canto. Why? Everything is in first canto. Yeah, read first canto, then come back to me with your big donation, please. Yes, Brigupati Dasa.
Thank you. You were saying at one point in your lecture that you know plenty of people who don't believe that if they remember Krishna at the time of death, that they're going to go back to be with Krishna. So were you referring to devotees or non-devotees? I mean, if you're referring
doesn't matter. Whoever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Some are devotees, some are. So they need to get that faith. They need to come to you. Take them out on Sankirtan. One day on Sankirtan with you, they will be delivered. You have practical experience in that. You both know. One family. They go out with you. Okay? What else? Yes, Prabhu?
So we are very fortunate to be in the Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya, and we have like the Uttama Paramahansa Guru. But we also understand that there are other Sampradayas who are recognized and acknowledged by Srila Prabhupada. So if some, let's say, life member from our congregation is very much attached, you can say, or is getting some knowledge and actually deriving some bhakti, we acknowledge that, isn't it?
Sure. We even tell Christians and others, we're not trying to convert you. Just take our books. Again, the books. Now take these books. It's going to make you better Christian, better Hindu. And where is my Middle Eastern Prabhu? Right? Do you not have personal experience? Muslims, are they not interested in Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita? Yes or no? Extremely interested. Because these books are especial. These are special books. I'll never forget. We have a sannyasi, Guru Prasad Swami. Okay, I know him personally. He's come to my house. He's taken prasad. He told me a story that there are places in the Amazon where they practice the religion of voodoo. You know what is voodoo? Religion in Tamogun. Okay? So sometimes the devotees would go to these villages in the Amazon and they would show Prabhupada's books and the people would go, because these books are brilliant as the sun. Ooh, isn't there a verse in the Bhagavatam? Brilliant. This is not a joke. And you have dozens of years of experience. These books are special. What I tell people, look, if someone like me can turn out to be such a nice person because of these books, what to speak of you who are such an exalted, great, wonderful person? You'll become a Mahant. You'll become Mahatma. If even such an idiot as me, look, you have no idea what I was like 43 years ago. I was a rat. I was like the worst of the worst. But look at me now. What else? My dear Prabhu,
Thank you so much for your wonderful, lecture, Prabhu. In the past few years, I've been traveling to, different temples in the world, and many of the times, the temple, is giving me feelings like, we have a very nice restaurant in our temple, and the restaurant is generating enough money to support our temple. So there's no need to go out and sell books to maintain our temple. And also, some temple even, give me this kind of feeling that we have lots of Indian, congregation who can donate lots of money. So we don't need to go so much to, sell books and maintain our temple. So how can we really, be inspired to go out and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books?
Okay. So what I would say to such a philosophy, we are not selling our books to make money. See, that's the mistake. That's not why we're not salesmen. We're not giving these books out to make money. We're doing the greatest welfare work in the whole world. Red Cross, this, that, and the other thing does not compare to the beneficial welfare activities of this movement. We are saving the fallen conditioned souls from the onslaught of the pernicious effects of Kali Yuga. And it's coming more and more in these next 4 years. You are going to see Kali Yuga on steroids. We have to save the fallen conditioned souls. These books are for everyone. Rich, poor, American, Indian, Hindu, Muslim. We are indiscriminate. We are an equal opportunity employer. We give our books to the LGBT community. We give our books to everyone. We love everyone. We don't hate anyone. We don't mock anyone. We simply want to give these books of love of God to everyone, not to make money. And then on top of that, so then the people will say, well then why don't you just give them out for free? Nah, not so fast. When anyone gives a donation for these books, they benefit more. That's why we want to give them, let them give as much as they can. It's for their benefit. So that it's not to support the temple. You ask Swavas, if the temple was to survive just on the books, right? It's not going to happen. We have a many-pronged, we have the gift shop, we have the restaurant, we have book distribution. We are well-balanced temple. This temple is well-balanced. We have our life membership departments. We have our Harinam Sankirtan department. We have our book distributors, restaurant, gift shop. Well, what's that? Music. Thank you very much. Yes, this movement is about giving, giving, giving. And the person who goes out and gives, he gets benedicted. And the person who gives, they get benedicted. Is that all right?
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
You have a question? Make it the final question for the session right here. This Prabhu here.
I just wanted to comment. Thank you, Prabhu, for a very nice class. Very much. I wanted to just comment that, you had mentioned that after you leave this body, just even if you read one word, then you're benefited of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the reward comes also. But you also gave practical example of the effects of Srimad Bhagavatam on the lives of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, and how they've, for decades and decades, completely transformed in the most wonderful way because of the potency of these books. I also find, just in my small example is that when I read Srimad Bhagavatam, with my son every day, I try to do it just by doing it, and even though in the beginning it might be a little bit difficult because I'm in ignorance, and so coming into contact with that. But after reading it, and just knowing that Srila Prabhupada thought it was really, really important, the acharyas and all the advanced devotees, they think it's important. Just by reading it, then coming to chanting Hare Krishna, coming to the Mangalarti, it takes it to a whole nother dimension of ecstasy, because the Srimad Bhagavatam and, just all the things that are important leading into that.
As we say in the 60s, right on, man. We'll end class here. Go out and conquer the world.